What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Leo, and welcome to the bird section. So, listen, y'all. Y'all know. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? If you're like me, you're probably up watching the game on eh, on Prime Video. Right now, Green Bay is winning 7-0 against our divisional rival, the Green Bay Packers. Listen, interesting to see. You know, uh, it feels like when you leave Dallas, you get calls. You know what I'm saying? Micah already got a holding call that normally goes uncalled. You know what I'm saying? I'm just digging because I know how much it pisses Cowboy fans off to see Micah thriving outside of Dallas. But and every opportunity I get to do a dig, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to keep y'all long because I want y'all to be able to get back to the game. But couple things, nothing real big. Dallas Goddard may not be playing this weekend. He was held out of practice yesterday and today, and so we'll see. As time goes on, I know we already know that Will Shipley's not going to be suiting up because of a rib injury, but Zadarius Smith and Tank Bisbee have been practicing literally with the team all week. And that's a good thing. So I would imagine that you're going to see both of them on Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. And as time goes on, it's starting to look like the things that I've been saying about the Kansas City Chiefs and their fan base is starting to reign true a bit. And I'm listening to the talking pundits on television. Hey, Julius Kurtz, what's up? The Eagles finally kick off the regular season last Thursday night. Was a tune-up game. I said that. Julius. Yeah, it was a tune-up game. And listen, you guys already know we start off slow. You know what I'm saying? So we still, things are still working themselves out. The fact that you don't really hear anything from AJ Brown or Devontae Smith regarding the number of targets and catches during that game. It's so weird for a lot of people and other fan bases to not hear from them that they're literally trying to drum up some sort of a controversy. Colin Coward was like, "Yeah, looks like AJ's going to get traded." Like it's it's crazy. But then focusing on Kansas City, I put a video out yesterday explaining to people that, you know, the win on Sunday against Kansas City would could be the beginning of the end or the sunset on the Chiefs' kingdom and mark the sunrise of the Philadelphia Eagles dynasty. And so I'm thinking, oh, I'm a big fan of Eagles seasons. Better Eagles kick Chiefs butts. Yeah, little G Griffith. I'm so right there with you. And Julius and Little G, while you're here, and anybody else who's watching, please, y'all, hook your boy up. Hit that like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get. I told everybody I was going to get to 10,000 before the end of the season, and that's my goal. I'm on week 2 now, and I ain't, but hey, we'll see. Um, but I think that you know the thing about the Kansas City Chiefs right now, and I think people are starting to notice, is that they are looking a bit old. They are looking a bit weary and worn. I think that Travis Kelsey has got one eye on his brother, who looks like he's having a ball in retirement and having fun and making money, and then he's looking at the fact that you know he's getting married to one of the richest entertainers in the history of the world with Taylor Swift, and his body's being battered and bruised, and so I think that the idea of retirement is starting to become something that he's really. Imani Bentley was good, and I think the idea of retirement is starting to look and sound like a better and better idea. I'm willing to bet that they lose on Sunday, and not just lose, but lose in a convincing fashion, much like the way they did in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's going to be the beginning of the end. Now, one of the things that I also thought about too was, Xavier Worthy may or may not be playing, but they're out. Rashid Rice is done, and they got Hollywood Brown who's still playing, but their receiving core is not. It's not up to par. And I realized, like they actually haven't retooled weapons for Patrick Mahomes lately. Linda Conyers, hey mama, what's happening, girl? Hey, why you here? Hit that like button for your boy. But I really think that I genuinely believe that they have not actually put in the investment in new weaponry for Patrick Mahomes. And so although I think that they're probably going to end up starting off slow as well and maybe eventually may end up heating up as well, it just shows you that, like the the continued, not resting on your laurels, sort of kind of like Howie. He's showing everybody what you need to do in terms of, being a GM. Like you're never just okay. You're always looking for players who you think you could bring in that could be of service to the team right now. And the way Howie has stockpiled draft picks over the years and is using them not just in the draft, but also to make moves to bring other players in. It's sort of kind of like this is the blueprint. This is what you must do. And so you all know how I feel about activity, be it good activity or bad activity. I just need to see activity. I need to know that you are doing everything that you can to make the team better. And that's exactly what it looks like Howie is in fact doing. So I'm pretty happy about the things that I am seeing, and also looking forward to seeing how things happen. Now, listen, in the Super Bowl, they took the running game away because they concentrated a lot of their, Jordan Love is going deep and he overthrew Romeo Dobbs, so, oh no, that's Golden. I'm sorry, not Dobbs, but Golden. Um, the way things are looking, what I'm saying, if they end up, looking as bad as they did in this game, like they did in the Super Bowl, you can tell that's going to be, from a lack of bringing in new talent, using those draft picks like much in the way that Howie does. And so, good activity or bad activity, as long as there's some activity, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but at least I know that I can tell that, our GM is doing his due diligence, and it's a continuous thing. And that's what I need to see, a continuous thing. Um, KC tried to spruce up their O line. Yeah, but how did it look? You know what I'm saying? I know it's just a one game, but here we go. Darlene Mosher says Packers were smart, David, to get that field goal. They've been at least up by 10. Uh, I think you're focusing on way too much of what you've done last year. Last year, and your team is not the same team as last year. Darlene, I'm not. I'm not focusing on last year. I make that very, very clear. This team is not that team. Okay, I'm just going off of making the comparison to the opponents, not this team, our opponents, the way they looked last year versus this year. So we just played the Kansas City Chiefs for the Super Bowl 7 months ago. And if you look at the way the last piece of film 7 months ago to what we see today, Kansas City is not going to lose 2 games in a row. They're going to win this week. Darlene, listen, I admire, I admire the faith and everything like that, but I really don't think I don't think you're looking at all of the variables here. Okay, the Kansas City Chiefs are nothing like last year's Kansas City Chiefs, and last year's Kansas City Chiefs was way better than this year's Kansas City Chiefs. You said Dallas was going to win last week, also at Darlene Mosher. What happened? Thank you, Linda. Oh, so she be doing that? Oh, okay. So yeah, all right. I think Linda. I think what it is with Darlene, I think she's just saying things. And you know what else is interesting? Because I didn't even notice until I was talking to Reggie, but Nick Wright, I didn't realize Nick Wright, the talking pundit, got his start in Kansas City talking his shit. That's why he says the things that he says, and he's so pro Kansas City, and gets angry if you speak out against Kansas City. So now I understand where where this all comes from. You know what I'm saying? So okay, got it. I didn't realize he was a Kansas City guy. So okay, it makes sense. Um, you know, uh, Linda, is Darlene a Cowboys fan or is she a Kansas City fan? I don't know which one it is. I look up one variable. I still think Patrick Mahomes is easily the best quarterback in the NFL. You know what? And you're allowed to think that. He is actually David. He is using his mom's login credentials. No cap. Oh, David Mosher. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, darling. Okay, that's right. I forgot. David's a Cowboys fan. Okay. My bad. Linda, you are the bomb.com. I completely forgot. You're absolutely right. That is David Mosher. Sorry, David, bro. I'm so sorry, bro. I did not make the connection. And I remember you did tell me that last weekend when we were online, and I realized like, oh, so my bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you guys have I don't know what to make of Dallas right now. You know what I'm saying? I think it would be funny as all hell if y'all lost to the Giants. That would be funny. But it doesn't matter because we need we need you guys to lose. We need everybody to lose. Shit, to be honest with you, so we can go ahead and take over first place in the NFC East. Because right now Washington is in first place. And so if they lose tonight, I think they'll still be in first place because they would have played more games than us. But I'm not really entirely sure how that would look, because we both have divisional games, but they've played more games. We both had divisional wins, but they've played more games than us, and I'm talking about the Commanders. So we'll see, but I really just wanted to hop in here real quick, give you guys my 2 cents because there's a lot of things happening and I'm starting to see it, like even more so again, having had Reggie Harris on the other day. He's actually in market in Kansas City and is a Chiefs fan. A lot of the things that they're having to deal with, there's some parallels you can draw to Kansas City to with than you can with Dallas, given that they both had movies that just premiered, you know um they that don't look good. Um, the Kansas City Chiefs look old and broken. Their receiving core is diminished right now. Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt. I'll take that running back group and put them up against our running back group any day. Especially since now we've upgraded our running back room. Not that it couldn't be upgraded, not that I thought it needed to be, but damn, we got Tank Bigsby. So right now, our running backs are Saquon Barkley, AJ Dillon, and Tank Bigsby. Yeah, okay, we're gonna run this shit down everybody's throat. Um, what's my focus on what happened last week? Because last week we're playing the New York Giants, not the Philadelphia. We got to move on. Wait a minute. You mean this week you're playing the Giants? Last week you played us. So, okay. You know, um, or are you? I thought David, you're a Cowboys fan, right? Okay, I think so. Yeah, David Mosher is a Cowboys fan. Or is he a Giants fan? I don't even remember now. David, let me remind me who's your team again, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really don't remember, and I don't want to get it. Dallas done got a big dose of Scatterboo. Dallas going to get a big dose of Scatterboo. Yeah, they're going to have to take all kinds of, they're going to get all kinds of tested, and again, I'm not really concerned with Dallas until week 12. So, screw 'em. I love that. I love the fact that, oh, and by the way, Green Bay just scored again. So now it's 14-0. Washington, keep running it up. I need them to keep running it up, so we can put these Commander fans to bed too, because they swear JD 55 is all that and some. Okay, thank you. He's a Cowboys loser. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Oh, really? Oh, thank you, FJMH. All right, how's that? I hope that works better. Oh, you know what? I don't know what's going on. Okay. There we go. Hamid Abdulaziz, Mark Holmes still talking about Eagles. Okay, so here's the thing with Mark, especially when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. He can't help himself. Okay, this is it's it's envy, borderline, uh, stalkish, sort of say, and he likes parroting a lot of the things that the talking pundits are saying because it helps him with his content because he can't find the words to describe, you know, how he really feels. The fact that we literally live rent free in Mark Holmes's head. Everything is about, the the Philadelphia Eagles and the Eagles this. If you ask Mark if he could have any GM in the league, what GM would he have? And what GM would he take? And he'll tell you quick, fast, in a hurry. Oh, I want Howie Roseman. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows Howie's the best GM in the league. He knows a lot about what's going on with our team. He knows a lot about what's going on in Philly, the whole 9 yards. I said we got David says, I said we got to know I am a Cowboys fan. I'm going to Cowboys fan longer than you probably been alive. Okay, David, I got you. I got you. I got you. It's about 50 years, but okay. I'll give you that. You've been a Cowboy fan for over 50 years. So respect, okay? You know, um, so yeah, I just think that like right now with the Kansas City Chiefs, and the things that are happening right now, especially like again, I watched. If you have not done so yet, while you're here on Prime, no, or if you go to Disney Plus, there's the documentary The Kingdom. Watch that documentary. I personally didn't watch the whole documentary. I skipped straight to the last episode because all I cared about was I was wondering how are they going to portray the Philadelphia Eagles and how are they going to tell this story? Uh oh, uh oh, and he looked like he crying. So right now there's a player down for the Washington Commanders, and defensive end Dietrich Wise. It looks like it's something major. I don't know if I want to see this. What happened? Oh, they got rolled. Oh, he got rolled back on his leg. It looks like they're putting his leg in an air cast right now. So, prayers up for the player from the Washington Commanders. Um, uh, 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 Hamid Abdulaziz says Commanders forgot RG3 was Jaden Daniels before Jaden Daniels. That's true. Linda Conyers, David, your team stinks. Your owner will make sure your fans never see another Super Bowl while you're alive. Thank you. I mean, yeah, get those likes up, y'all. You know your boy really need that right now. Um, and listen, y'all. I think that Jerry's winning formula isn't about collecting wins. Uh, LB FJMH says LB, don't let MH bully you. He has a history of that. Okay, got you, got you. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things. And I'm I got the like I said I got the game on, but I'm not really trying to live stream during the game. I mean, live stream the game or commentate it. I'm not good. I'm not there yet. I will eventually get there. Probably as the season progresses, I may end up doing live streams during the Eagles game or what have you. But we'll see. Like right now, because I've got a lot of things going on, particularly from a business standpoint. Things are rocking and rolling a bit, Um, and while I'm on here, shout out to my brother, my business partner Eugene Monroe. He's doing this Iron Man thing out in Hawaii right now, and I hope he does really well. He does. He has a charity. I cannot tell you the name of the charity, but it's the one that he's been supporting since he's been patroning since his rookie year in the league. And I think, and so they do this Ironman competition, and he competes every year. And so right now he's out there competing, and while he's competing, everything business wise has fallen on me and my other partner Reggie, who I had on here the other day. And so we've been trying to hold the fort down while he's gone. David says, I do believe Patrick Mahomes has got 3 Super Bowls, have been a lot more times than your heart's been to the Super Bowl. So how can you say he's not the best quarterback in football right now? I want Commanders to lose so bad. It seems I'm a Packers fan. I got the shower to get that stink off. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna front. I understand exactly what you mean by that. I really do. But here's the thing. I'm I am really praying and hoping that the Packers do win, only because it's a win against our division rival. I would prefer at this stage that our divisional rivals accumulate as many, oh man, don't look good. I prefer that our divisional rivals accumulate as many losses as they can. Now here's the thing: when the Packers are not playing anybody within our division, I want them to lose. Okay, I'm a firm believer in the path to least resistance. Because here's the thing, everybody, and I've said this and maintain this. Number one, our biggest concern this year is going to be about health. And I think this is why we got Tank Bigsby, you know what I'm saying, to help to maintain the health of our running back room and for the team. And then the second thing is as well is depth, because he provides that depth. And then the second thing is that 11 of the teams that we're going to play and during the regular season. Well, put like this: uh, 6 of the teams that we play outside of our division, there's a very real possibility that we could see them uh, twice this year, in the regular season and in the playoffs. So who do I say? Okay, so of course we play Washington, Dallas, and New York twice. Okay. Um, but then we also have to play Kansas City. If we saw them twice, it would be in the regular season and probably and maybe in the Super Bowl. Okay, we play the LA Rams the following week. They gave us the biggest test during the playoffs. You know, ooh, Terry McLaurin picked that up. Got that. Okay. So the LA Rams, we could see them during the regular season and in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we'll see them in the regular season and we could see them in the playoffs. The Denver Broncos, we'll see them in the regular season, and if we saw them again in the playoffs, it'd be during the Super Bowl. We got I don't know about the Minnesota Vikings. Um, Green Bay, we'll see them week 10 and then probably in the playoffs. Um, Detroit Lions, we'll see them in the regular week 11, we could see them in the playoffs. And then the Chargers, we've already saw them. No, we could see them. We'll see them in the week 14, and we could see them during in the Super Bowl. And then you have the Buffalo Bills. We could see them. We'll see them week 17, and we could end up seeing them, potentially see them in the Super Bowl. So there are a number of teams that we're going to be seeing twice this year, be it in the regular season and in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl. So we'll see. You're going to see, David. Why are you talking about Mahomes' success instead of your QB success? Dak has a record of 3-6 since last year. 11 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. What about that? You know what, Linda? You cooking the shit out of David for real. Uh, David says you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, and we're going to find a way to win that one. I guarantee it right now, man. You sound like me. You know what's sad? Let me tell you something. This is what's sad about the Dallas Cowboy fan base. The saddest thing about the Dallas Cowboys is fan base is they have become the textbook example of misplaced loyalty. That's their problem. It's misplaced loyalty. And I said that Jerry Jones has groomed these people so well that even when they've gotten back to back to back, heartbreaks in the playoffs and losing seasons and stuff like that. Guess what Cowboy fans do? Regardless of all the shit that they say about Jerry Jones and wanting him to die and all this other stuff, guess what they do? They give Jerry Jones their money. They still give him their money. They're still buying. Do you know how many people have to buy? You know how many? You know how? Do you know how much Cowboy jersey sales are going to go up? And it's not because people are supporting players or whatever. It's just that's how many people got to replace their Micah Parsons jerseys. Okay, so they're going to see a lot. Do you guys realize how much TV sales go up in the Dallas Fort Worth area? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because they're either punching their TVs or shooting them or running them over with their pickup trucks in Texas. That's what they do. Uh, Linda said words like guarantee and playoffs don't go with Dallas or the Cowboys. Darlinda? Linda, you realize I ain't really say too much. I'm letting you cook his ass, so you keep on cooking him. David says, I know one thing. You're going to say you're going to see the Dallas Cowboys beat you in the playoffs. That's what you're going to see. David, misplaced loyalty, bro. Misplaced loyalty, but I admire it. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. What's even sadder with this misplaced loyalty is the fact that the organization, the front office, they don't care anything about you. They don't care about your loyalty. They don't care about the product that they putting out. They only do things just to get you guys going and keep you interested and keep you coming to the games and stuff like that. So again, there's a lot of misplaced loyalty, a lot of, okay. And one thing I will say that we sort of kind of we during the off season and the preseason, we sort of kind of said that Washington Commanders fans need to be careful because look, JD 55 had a great year, but that's the thing, he had a year. So there is a year's worth of tape on him. And defenses are going to figure out how to play his ass and how to defend against him. And right now, it's looking like the Commanders are putting on a clinic on how to beat up on JD 55. And so it's just one of those things where, give defenses a chance to get some tape on you, some film, and it's so this Packers game is looking like has an opportunity to get crazy here. Hey David, Michael Parsons jersey are on sale in Dallas, 80% off. Better get one. You know what, Linda? On the real, guess what? On the real, Linda, I'm thinking about buying a Michael Parsons Dallas Cowboys jersey. I'm seriously considering buying a Micah Parsons Cowboys jersey, and I think I will. And it's just for trolling purposes. As part of my backdrop or something like that. I really think that that's what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet, but I think I will buy a Micah Parsons Dallas Cowboy jersey because that's heartbreak for them. And so seeing that seeing those things is sort of kind of it's like, okay, here we go, here we go, that type of shit. So we'll see. Listen, y'all, if you get it up, please do your boy a favor, keep hitting that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the bird section. Bruce Banner, what's good, man? For what, a doormat? No, Bruce, I want to make it like I don't know yet. I got to figure out how I would use it. You know what I'm saying? Because it would only probably come out during the Cowboys games. Whenever the Eagles are playing the Cowboys, I think that's when I will pull it out because I know that it's such a heartbreak for them. And so I think I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. That would be strong on their mental and your background. Linda, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you like Linda, listen. If you listen to Mark, you know what I'm saying. He's either talking about the Philadelphia Eagles or Michael Parsons. And now he's got this new thing. When you say Michael Parsons, he'd be like, "Who? Michael? Who? Who's that?" He tries to pretend. But we all saw him stretched out on the floor from drinking so much after they traded Michael away. So we know that he could play it off. He could play it off all he want, but he know that fan base ain't, the morale is low down there in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? And should Jesse Montanez's group the Philadelphia, the New York Giants beat Dallas, that would be so funny. That would be that's right there, right? Okay, because right now you let them tell it they going to the playoffs. Okay, they like you listen to the way they talk about last Thursday. You think they won? They've got some sort of a moral victory thing going on with them. I don't know. It's something. I can't necessarily put my finger on it, but yeah, it's just that's the way they talk. So it is what it is. And I mean, Green Bay is just running all over Washington. So I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I think right now our biggest competition in the NFC is the Green Bay Packers. So this is actually a scouting report too as well, because again, this is only week two. So this team that we see in week two and the team that we field in week two is not going to be the same team week 15. So it's like, okay, Bruce Banner said, Cowboy fans are funny as fuck. No. Uh, uh, Linda said, "Yeah, do it for the Cowboys Packers game at the end of September." Linda, I think I am. I am. But I am. I'm not. I think I am. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get it and just put it. I have to put it somewhere. To where it's just right there. And they're gonna be mad. Hamid said he lost it when Parsons said he wanted to be an Eagle. I know. Yo, listen, y'all. If any of y'all who's watching, if y'all have not been over to Mark Holmes, go to Mark Holmes Joe Boo Sports Report. Make sure you subscribe. But go through his videos from around the time that Micah got traded. You'll see what Hamid's talking about. You'll see. Like, as a matter of fact, when there's a thing where he's got one that I think is listed as like, you know, Parsons says he would have went to the Eagles too. He wanted to. Um, we know Lane Johnson is Parsons' daddy. My lot are bigger than Johnson. We good. I mean, I agree. I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? They right now we live rent free in their heads. We've been living rent free in Mark Holmes's head. He's pretty much been on this thing with trying to front. That's what they're doing. They're fronting right now. And what's really rough for them and what's really hard is that they don't get their lick back until week 12. So they have to wait 10 whole weeks before they even, or 11 weeks before they see us again. And so it's just going to be a lot of making up stuff, because that's what they do. They can't help it. And Jordan Love just launched a pass that went wide that no one caught. So they went three and out. um but and I'm also liking what I'm seeing from Washington too, because they're looking sus. And like they figured somebody, it looks like someone's figured out JD 55. So we'll see. But again, y'all, like, I just don't think that I think that I think other fan bases are in complete denial about what they're seeing, particularly when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. God forbid, in their minds, this is how they think in their heads, right? There's what they say to us, and then there's what they say to themselves and each other behind closed doors. And I think what they're saying to themselves and each other behind closed doors is that, this Philadelphia Eagles team, if they get their shit together, you know what I'm saying, that can be a very dangerous looking team. And it's like, yeah, that's true. You know, Hamid said, I pissed game time off earlier. He said, it's my show. I can say what I want in his. Listen, hey, y'all. That's one thing I've noticed about a number of content creators, particularly the Cowboys content creators. The moment you know they are triggered when they say, this is my channel. When they go, it's my channel. Especially the way they say it, then you have actually triggered them, and they don't realize what they look like to us. And so that's why I'm sort of kind of like I hunch my shoulders and I go, okay, whatever, But I think it's funny, and you guys already know with the bird section, that's the point. All are welcome. Okay. Yes, I run this channel, but this is all of our channels. Okay. The only thing that I ask is that we be respectful to each other. You know what I'm saying? And you can speak your mind and, be respectful to other people who are not there. Laugh out loud. CZ's here. What up, Leo? What up, big dog? Laugh out loud. Leo, it's definitely the Cowboys creators. Yeah, you know what? It's, how many said, Mark was saying, it's my channel last week. You made him more and more mad. Bruh. You know what? Thank you, Bruce. And Hamid, that's what I was going to say. I triggered the shit out of Mark too. And I know at a certain point that he pulled that same line with me. It's my channel. As soon as they say that, that's when you know, gotcha, bitch. I'm serious. They cannot help themselves. It's when they get so into their feelings. They get so into their feelings that the moment you piss them off, then when that line comes out, everybody knows. Got you. You know what I'm saying? Got you. It's if you don't like it, you can leave. It's my channel. Blah 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 blah. All right, all right. Yeah, you right. You right. And I like as soon as I hear that line, I laugh because I go, okay, you got it. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Because Marcus sit there and be like, Leo, you acting like a little bitch, and I'm like, you're the one who's sitting there talking about it's my channel. It's my channel. You being Eagle fans come here, they're being so mean to me. And then you'll even hear Cowboy fans say something like this. It's so hard being a Cowboys fan. Oh, you don't understand. It's so hard being a Cowboys fan. And it's like, okay. Hamid said, Pizzle calls Mark Lakeisha. Hamid says, especially when you talk about Prescott, it's like talking about their kid. Bruh, you better not say nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? You better not. It doesn't matter. Oh, and the thing is that they use these stats. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not entirely sure. I think the benchmark for the Cowboys fan base was set so low that they knew they were going to lose. Even Mark picked them to lose the game. But what they did not want was they didn't want to be embarrassed. They didn't want to be smashed like I said we were going to do. And so the fact of the matter is that because it was a close score, 24-20, you know what I'm saying? That was their saving grace. Like, that was actually their win. That was how they justified the mindset that they were in. And so now they get to say things like, well, we scared you. You know what I'm saying? And when I say things like, "Oh, yeah, last Thursday I said, yeah, it's just a tune-up game." See, like what they were doing was they were, more so responding to me, being so nonchalant about playing them. Like I didn't feel threatened at all. I kept telling them it's just a tune-up game, and the fact that I kept saying it was a tune-up game was triggering. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Mark said you and Drew represent what we think on their show very well. Hey, you know what? I appreciate you, CZ. Leo, Cowboys are under the Joe Boo curse. They're not winning until the dog gets burnt. And you know what else? We'll keep winning so long as Mark keeps that damn chicken with the Eagles jersey on it. Because as soon as he got that, we went on that run. If you think about it, and he was mocking us and teasing us, and what did it say? Like one ring or zero ring, something like that. One ring for the jersey number, and now it's got to say two. And I'm like, yeah, Mark, keep that damn chicken doll too. Um, yeah, so the Jobu curse, I think it reversed back on them. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell Mark because Mark swears by it. And he even thinks the football gods are watching over him and will bring them some sort of a victory. That they have yet to get. I don't know. Um, CZ said he messing with bad juju. I I think the same thing, CZ. I really do. I really think the same thing. It's that damn voodoo doll. Ever since Mark had that, it's burned bad, it's brought bad luck. And that chicken, I CZ, I mean, it's true. I don't think he. And here's the thing: I think he's in such denial. Listen, these Cowboy fans, they are in denial. You know what I'm saying? This this is turning into, like there had like playoffs is canceled for the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. Y'all know I said that during the preseason because of what Jerry was doing. Playoffs is canceled. Okay, y'all already know that I think. Ooh, he missed it. Green Bay, Washington tried to kick a 1,000 yard kickoff and miss extra field goal and missed it. So wide left. Well, not wide. Yeah, left. It went left. Anywho, and I love it. So it's turnovers on downs now at this point, and the Packers get the ball back. I think at the 50 or something like that. So short field for them. Great. Good on good. All good on good. Keep going, Washington. I mean, keep going, Green Bay. Keep doing what you're doing. All right. But yeah, I think that look, y'all. This is. I said, if you guys remember, Linda, you was there. Okay, you was on there when I said this. I said that Eagles win the Super Bowl last year. That this year I was going to be insufferable. Okay, and part of the problem with the Dallas Cowboys is that they have accountability issues. Okay, that's their problem. They don't have and it's not just with the organization, but they have accountability issues amongst the fan base. You know, if you guys remember, when we hired Kellen Moore, marketing was cooking me for that. Oh, you're never going to win now. You're going to get Kellen Moored. That's what they said, And so I'm just, and I think that, I think to be honest with you, and I'm going to say it. Fuck it. I don't care. I'm going to say it. I think the Dallas Cowboys, even with their 5 rings, are jealous of the Philadelphia Eagles. They are jealous of us. Okay. And they know just as well as we do that what they are doing is and I see this throughout the league. Teams are constructing their rosters to either mirror the Philadelphia Eagles or to compete at a high level against the Philadelphia Eagles. But at the end of the day, they are actually building their rosters with the Philadelphia Eagles in mind. Okay, I promise you. Everybody wants a 1A and 1B wide receiver now. How many say I'm cheering for the Packers like it's the Super Bowl. Don't take my Eagles car away. No, no, no. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. I'm cheering. That's why I said I get. Someone else said that like the way they're cheering for the Packers. You think they were a fan. I'm like, no, no. I totally get it. I want the Packers to do well when they are playing our divisional rivals. I want them to win. When they are not playing our divisional rivals, I need them to stack on those losses. So, again, and hey, y'all heard Brock Purdy might be out from 2 to 5 weeks with turf toe. Okay, so it's not really looking good in San Francisco either. You know, um, you know, I still don't know what to think about. What happened with Chicago and Minnesota. That was crazy. That bull got Tom Landry as a screensaver. No current Cowboys. Yo, I mean, you saw how my boy GB Dunn went in on him, right? My man. Look, my man got walk away so bad. Homeboy changed his thing from Troy Aikman to Golden Corral, and then he keeps flipping back whenever you say something to him. So that tells you they don't have no faith in not even in their current players. Okay. It is what it is, my man. You know what I'm saying? Handle it. That's how I feel. You know, it is what it is. So look, y'all, I went longer than I thought I was going to go. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like I said, I know I didn't want to, take up too much of y'all time, from watching, the game. I appreciate y'all being on here with me while and I just wanted to give my thoughts real quick on, what was happening with the with the things that I'm seeing this week because it's been a minute. I've been doing a lot. Um, yo, what up, Mikey? What's good? Just got out of work. You're the first channel I go. Oh man, Mike, I appreciate that, bro. If I was white, I'd be red from blushing. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? While you're here, hit that like button for your boy. I mean, we need him back on that show. Young man was cooking. Done. Yo, I'm going to make sure that I get done on here this weekend. Okay, I'm gonna make sure I get done on here this weekend. My man is heavy into doing his music and everything like that. But I'm gonna make sure. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call him tonight and tell him, all right, that folks are asking for him. I'll watch you live after you get off. Okay, bet. Handle it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, look, y'all. This has been like, first of all, again, thank you so much for coming on. The one thing you're not going to hear me say is, it's my channel. Mine. As soon as you make me mad. No, it don't work that way. I told y'all, it's the bird section, and everyone is welcome on the bird section, okay? So with that, I'm going to keep y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. What's his IG handle? It's GB Dunn. GB, I think, with an underscore Dunn. But he's got music on. It's GB Dunn on Apple Music too. He's got like 5 or 6 albums out now. But solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mike. That's what, Mikey. That's what we're talking about because somebody, I think it was Hamid who pissed Game Time off, and Game Time went into the whole "it's my channel" thing, and and I was trying to tell him, like, listen, the moment they say that, that's when you've got them triggered. Or if you say something about Dak, when you say something about Dak, or you say something like it's just a tune-up game, you guys don't matter, they get triggered. You guys got to remember, they're living in bizarro world right now. Okay, they're not. They're what they're accustomed to is seeing us lose all the time and them winning Super Bowls. And so you got to remember, this is a new world. They come from and what else triggers them is when I say, yeah, your mindset is from the late 1900s. You haven't won a Super Bowl in the modern era. And it's true, but it's when you say it the way I say it, it stings. You know what I'm saying? It really, really bothers them. And so that's the softest chat I've ever seen. I love trolling Game Time. Yo, listen, I went off on Game Time one time and I said something like, oh, you're just Mark Holmes 2.0 or something like that or what have you. I pissed them off. And I mean, Game Time was so mad. One eye, he did the one eye thing. He was like, "Well, if you don't," and I was like, "Oh." When I saw that one eye go down like that, and this eye pop out, I knew. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Uh, the late 1900s is diabolical. Yeah, bruh. I was on the Eagles Collective podcast, and my peoples on there was like, "Yo, the late 1900s, they was like, yo, that shit hit right there." And I'm like, but it's true. You haven't won in the modern era. They don't know what it's like to be winners in the modern era, which is why they sit there and keep saying things like, I told them, y'all don't know what it's like to be a winner. And they'll go, well, why you here? It's the Cowboys channel. Why you here? And I'm like, yeah, see, your winning ideas come from the late 1900s. They actually predate YouTube. They predate the internet for the most part. And you don't realize that when you're a Super Bowl winner in the modern era, you can actually plant yourself in the middle of Cowboys fandom, like me and Game Time do. and say the things that we say and talk our shit. And that's exactly what we do. The problem is that their counters don't necessarily work. When they say things like, yeah, but 5 Super Bowls is more than 2 Super Bowls. And I'm just like, well, yeah, 5 is a bigger number than 2, but that's not a flex anymore. That's not the flex you think it is. Huh. Well, we got 5 Super Bowls. How many do you have? And I'm like, we got 2, and they're more recent. They don't like it when I tell them things like, hey, do you know the reason why when they show old clips, when they show clips from when the Super Bowl, the last time they won the Super Bowl, it always looked like there's a gray haze, and people like, yeah, okay. The reason for that is because you're asking you're asking today's software to code out old footage, and so that haze is to compensate for there's no high def with that. So you're going to have that haze. That's why it looks that way. Those games were all in analog. If you look at all of the Dallas Cowboys rings, it's all in yellow gold, 18 karat gold, 24 karat gold. They don't have any rings that were made out of platinum. They didn't do that. They didn't do white gold. They haven't had that. They're all gold rings. So you have to adjust. Like you have to think about like, okay, this is a mindset. It's sort of kind of like if the Pittsburgh Steelers hadn't won in the 2000s or what have you, like all those rings from the Steel Curtain are from like the 70s. That's where they are. They don't realize. I think what it is that Cowboy fans do not realize how far removed from winning a Super Bowl they genuinely are. They're 30 years removed. Okay, and then you also have to think about that, like 30 years since. So there's a entire generation. There's a couple of generations of Cowboy fans who have actually never seen the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl. So these things, after a period of time, these things really work. It burns them. It chaps their skin, and so that's why they go back to saying things like, "Well, Dak is 9-4, and we had 3 12-5 seasons, and Dak is 9-4 against the Eagles, and 33-8 against the NFC, and he owns y'all and everything like that." And it's like, yeah, but he don't own no actual hardware. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? 30 years ago, I was 0 years old. Vinny, what's up? Bro, 30 years ago, I was 20 in college. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is what we're dealing with here. So, Vinny Hagen, CZ, Vinny is the softest Cowboy fan I know. Ooh, shots fired. Vinny, shots fired, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know, Vinny Hagen says, F the birds. Oh, fuck the birds. Yeah, I see y'all. See what I mean? We live rent free in their heads. It didn't take long for a Cowboys fan to actually prove that for me. You know what I'm saying? And so Vinny Hagen says, I was 34. Damn, 30 years ago? Yeah, see? Vinny and Bruce are becoming friends, Leo. see? Vinny Hagen Vinny Hagen is he's in a bad place right now. You know what I'm saying? Along with David Mosher, and there's a number of Cowboy fans in here. So it's he has no class. Game Time is a diva. You know what? I'm not even concerned with y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? I already spoke my piece. I said what I had to say. I'm not going to beat a dead dog, but I know it's been a long time since my it's been a long Leo, it's been a long time, my Jersey friend. Vinny, what's good, baby? What's good? You know, listen, y'all. Um, Appreciate y'all being here, and like I said, before you leave here, do hit the like button if you haven't already. Uh, uh, um, uh, it's Mikey says, I forgot RIP to Charlie Kirk. Prayers up to Charlie Kirk's wife and his kids. I heard they were actually standing there. They were there when that happened. And I just hate the fact that that kind of violence was played out in front of them. It definitely reminds me of, the assassination of Malcolm X. It happened right in front of his wife and kids, and when he fell, they kept shooting him too. So this is, like the one thing I will say is that the beauty about sports is it gives us an opportunity to think about other things, and just keep the blue pill, bro. I want to square up with Mark Holmes. Nah, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want to do that. And the only reason why I'm telling you don't want to do that is because it's beneath you. You know what I'm saying? Blue pill, listen, bro. I had to have this conversation um Eagles Drew one time. You know, I said that we have to stop sounding like we were still suffering from PTSD, and we have to start living with PTSD. And part of that is that we are not that anymore. We are not those losing Eagles who never won a Super Bowl, even though like Cowboys fans tell you they swear we didn't win one. They refuse to acknowledge it. Or it's difficult if they refuse to acknowledge it, if they're not refusing to acknowledge it, it's very difficult for them to acknowledge it. It's very difficult for them to see to tell you what they actually see. We all saw Jalen Hurts do his thing, so you know. And now at this point, what they can't stand is that when we're saying things about our team and we're talking about we're different now. We're definitely different, and that's the bizarre world that this is the new world that they live in the new world in the modern era, you know what I'm saying? We're two-time, Super Bowl winning champions, we're the class of the NFL, our front office is cooking on all cylinders. They're all watching us go through the beginning of the golden years of the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys want two Super Bowls and you won last year, and you guys are the Super Bowl until someone knocks it off you. You're the Super Bowl champ, so I'm willing to know I'm not in a fantasy land. Yeah, David, you are, but it's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things. Like, yeah, yeah, Blue, leave LaQuisha Holmes alone. Bruce Banner says, Darlene, you're pathetic. Yeah, that's David actually. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It looks like Debo trying to run it back. He got down to the 45. Good return. So okay, see if y'all do something with it. Right now, y'all, the score is 14-3, beginning of the third quarter, and let's see, if Green Bay can pick up where they left off in the first half. So let's see what's going on. But yeah, y'all, I'm Darling, go cook something. Oh wow. Sorry, I'm being too toxic. We love every one of you. Oh, all right, I see what you're doing. Okay. You're right. We have a lot more class. We have two trophies. Yeah, Blue Pill, look, it's just one of those things that they have to get accustomed to. And remember, when we say things about our team and everything like that, to them, it sounds like this is like if like me saying, hey, we've upgraded our running back room, so now we have Saquon Barkley, AJ Dillon, and now Tank Bigsby, right? And we also picked up Zadarius Smith to help with the defense with the pass rush, right? And if we say, I love the fact that Howie is continuously looking to upgrade the team. He's not satisfied. He's never satisfied, right? So that's what we say, right? Okay, when we actually use those words to the Cowboys fan base, they hear we're so good, we're better than everybody, we're this, we're that, we're the bomb.com, blah 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 blah. That's what they hear. It's toxic to them. It's screeching. It's like if when we start saying all the things that we're doing, you might as well be grinding your nails against the blackboard. That's what it's like for them. Okay. And the reason why that is like that is because they hate to admit it, but they are actually jealous of us. And then every heartbreak does nothing but it hurts them. But then they have to turn and look at what we're doing. So when who was it? DeMarcus Lawrence, when him and Micah got into it, and Micah came to the defense of the team, you know, and DeMarcus Lawrence said, "I ain't never going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas." He wasn't lying. You know, he was speaking his truth. But Micah came to the day, and they was all with it. You know, but then look what happened. Not even a year later, Micah's gone. So what now? You see what I'm saying? You know, it's just they can't help it, man. They cannot help themselves. And so to them, it's just, again, it just hurts their feelings, all right? All right, I've been trying to get off here because y'all keep saying things to keep me on here. But look, again, y'all, if you haven't done if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button, and if you haven't, also subscribe. You know what I'm saying, and share the shit out of this. As a matter of fact, send this video, hit the share button, and send it to your favorite Cowboy fan. I said, yeah, I just gave you credit, and your bunch of jerks just slapped me in the face. Why should I give you any credit when you just got to slap me in the face? David, calm down, bro. Calm down. I am not trying to slap you in the face. What I am doing is I'm giving everyone, I'm giving the audience an assessment of what I see. This is my observations of what I see, especially from my experiences with other Cowboy fans when it comes to when the Philadelphia Eagles fans start talking about the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be malicious towards you. I told you, David, this is the bird section. Oh, everybody is welcome here, and you will be respected. Okay, I'm not here to disrespect you. I'm not here to disrespect. I don't want you to feel like you're being slapped in the face, but to be honest with you, when you make statements like that and everything, it sort of kind of proves my point. Like when we say the things that we're saying. So again, not trying to disrespect you, and I'm sorry if you felt that way. But I promise you that if you just come out of your feelings for a bit and just analyze what it is that I'm saying, you'll see what I mean. And Micah just got a damn sack. So there you have it. You know what I'm saying? He got his sack. And that right there, so when you see that, that hurts. Okay, that hurts them. You know what I'm saying? We don't need your credit. We go out there and earn your undeniable credit. It's not personal. Tell it like it's facts. Blue pill. Tell it like it is. It's true. You know what I'm saying? So again, and they called a holding call that Mike used to get when he was playing for Dallas. So it's like, see what happens when you leave Dallas, you get calls. All right, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna let y'all get back to the game, and then I'll be back on here probably tomorrow, and we'll get back to talking about Kansas City because right now I think they're vulnerable. They're still trying to figure themselves out what they are. But I will tell you, they are looking, they're looking sus and vulnerable, and I think they're getting old, and they still any missed. So damn, they can't even kick a field goal right. Oh, wow. That's a shame. 14-3. Green Bay over Washington right now at this point. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. And again, we get an opportunity, come on back. And again, see y'all later at the bird section. Peace. Oh, this was so much fun. So much fun. Wait a minute.